Hello, this is Carol.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You are live on the 22Q Ironman podcast. I'm Johnny Sepp. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank
How
you.
you guys holding up?
We're deep in this thing, Carol. We're deep. We're in hour 36 right now.
Right.
Um,
I
we.
wanted to thank you guys for taking this on and raising awareness for us.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Absolutely.
This is
Our pleasure.
We are 10 hours longer than we've ever been before. We did 24. Brandon did 24,
Hi, I'm Brandon. Nice to meet you.
and
You too. You too.
he still hasn't recovered from it. He hasn't been the same since. And we're now at 35, and we've got 15 more to go. So,
Right.
but we've been laughing and joking and doing our normal radio show. But in between that, we're really trying hard to champion this charity, and all three of us are really firm supporters of it. I know that you're the chair of the International 22Q Foundation and one of the founding members. I also know that you're a mother.
Yes.
And
I have a 13-year-old son with the 22Q.
so why don't
I
you
have 3 children, and he's my youngest.
tell us a little bit about that and your role in the charity? That would be awesome.
Well, my son, he was born 13 years ago. We had no idea anything was wrong at the time. And when he was born, we were told he had a heart condition, and we were sent home. And as a mom, being he was my 3rd child, I knew something wasn't right. And when we went back to the hospital, we actually stood there for a month because he had other medical conditions that arose from this. And then he was diagnosed with the condition at a month old. So it's been a long journey, but it's empowered me to do some great things and help everybody with coping with the 22Q. So, and then in 2003, we began the foundation, and it's, next year will be 10 years that, we have been working very hard and diligently at raising awareness for this condition. And also people like you that are helping us along the way, getting the word out about it.
Carol, I've tried to, and I'm a parent. I have a young daughter, a 3-year-old daughter, and I am very thankful that she's healthy. But I've tried to illustrate what it would be like for a parent from the parent's perspective, but I don't know. I don't have firsthand experience. So maybe you can just let everybody know what the day-to-day or the family life, how it's affected by this syndrome, not just so much the child, but the entire family.
Yes, actually, well, I could tell you a funny story. My son is born 8 years later than my middle daughter. They're born on the same date. And it's been a strain and a struggle, especially if you have other children because, your life is affected, as you said, all the way around, dealing with medical appointments, surgeries, and just coping with the syndrome also. When you're diagnosed, parents know absolutely nothing about the syndrome. They're given this, they're told their child has the 22q deletion syndrome, and you're sent on your way home, and we're hoping to change that. And that's, what I dealt with. I just came home, started Googling, researching what the syndrome was about until I could learn everything possible. And I'm fortunate enough we have Children's Hospital Philadelphia, which is about a 2-hour drive for me, but they have a 22Q viewing center there, and that's where my son is seen for all his medical needs. And so it's been a journey. He actually has scoliosis now, so he has a growing rod, and he's had it at 11 years old, and he's had it lengthened 4 times, so we still have a few more surgeries until he's done growing for that. So it's been a challenge, but everyone's been very supportive, and I have a great family that helps me also through this journey.
It's wonderful that you have a great support system there in place. I'm sure it's really crucial and important to your whole family. You guys founded the board. The board members were founded in 2003. You're coming up on your the 10-year anniversary of this charity, no?
Yes, we are. 10 years, and we're hoping to do something big. We have nothing in plan yet, but we're hoping to, have a 10-year anniversary and plan a big awareness campaign with that also. But we've come a long way in 10 years. We've recognized all over the world now, and we continue to, try and find the best support for families coping with the syndrome, especially when they're first diagnosed and they don't know where to go or turn to. So we've actually created some parent-friendly binders that parents can request through the website, which give them, birth to 5 booklet just to keep all their medical records and get some fact cards about the syndrome that they could, bring to their doctors, because there's many doctors out there that, don't know anything about the syndrome, and we're trying to change that.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the most shocking things to me, is that this isn't more well known, considering the frequency with which it's prevalent. That it's just not something that even in our doing this and getting the word out to everybody that listens to our show regularly, the big thing was that a lot of people just weren't aware and hadn't heard of it, and that's one of your guys' big missions, right?
Yes, that's one of our big missions. We also, a couple of years ago, started a same name campaign, because the syndrome does go under several different names, which I think is a little confusing, to families and professionals, because we'll have families write in, my child has the George syndrome, is it the same as the 22q? BCFS. A lot of these families have been going by these different names for a very long time. But we're hoping to change that and, start all around the world just calling it the 22q, so that it can be recognized all over the world and more people, will understand what the syndrome is. We actually also, in January, went to Washington to have 22q put on a newborn screening panel to families, because it's so important that it's diagnosed early on, because you get the best, interventions when the child's earlier. There's a lot of families that their child doesn't get diagnosed till later in life, and they just dealt with each issue along the way also. So we're hoping to change all of that.
Yeah, it's really important that everybody, and like we've been telling everybody, if you can't donate, raising awareness is just as important. Tell 22 people about this, and the same name campaign is something that it seems to me to be crucial in the treatment of the children who are affected by this, because it seems like it would save a ton of time, energy, and effort if it could be more widely recognized.
Right, definitely, and that's the same name campaign did start for that reason, and hopefully it is picking up. We held a big conference in Disney this year, the 8th Biennial 22q Deletion Syndrome Conference, where professionals that are working on the syndrome from all around the world came, and it was able to help a lot of parents understand the syndrome better, how to cope, especially in school and in the medical community, which is really important, because, like I said, a lot of the medical community does not know about the 22q unless you have a center that specializes in it, and there's not too many of them. So, and also I know you had Sheila on, I think I missed her podcast, but about the zoo, and she's also a parent that's on our board.
That was actually one of our best interviews of the entire show, and we 30 or more interviews we've done, and Sheila just gave us so much insight and information, and I think she really set the tone for answered a lot of the questions that even me, I've probably read the equivalent to a novel on this since we decided to do this project, and it's just hard to explain it without the first-hand knowledge, and she did a phenomenal job.
Right, and there's no child alike, and that's what makes the syndrome so hard. You could have a child just with a learning disability, and then you have a child with multiple organs affected, so there's not one child alike with the syndrome, and that's the difficult part of it also.
Yeah, absolutely. Carol, is there anything that you want to just let everybody know before we let you go? I know you're busy, and we don't want to keep you, but is there one thing you just want to let everybody know to either raise awareness or whatever effort you like everybody to try and put forth?
I just like everyone to know that, the foundation is working extremely hard. We're all parents and professionals on the board in a non-paying position, and we work on a daily basis on getting the word out that what the 22Q is, helping families, raising money for great causes. You had Fred on earlier with Dragonfly, to help our children with 22Q and give them the best outcome possible in their life. So that is our mission. And I think, we've come a long way, and we still have more work to do, but we're slowly getting there.
Well, Carol, thank you so much
thank you guys for having us also.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for all the hard work you guys do. We really, it's really admirable to champion a cause like you guys have done, and I admire the board members and the people who participate in the charity. So thank you, and we're doing all we can, and we got a ways to go. We might get a little delirious as it goes on, but we're going to keep going because it's worth it.
We're through the hardest stretch, buddy. This is the home front.
We're going into the home stretch now, so
we're going into the 15-hour-long home stretch.
It's always easier to say.
Yes.
When you slept for 3 hours, but that's all right. No, we're not.
All right, Carol. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate
Carol,
it.
just hope you realize we literally are doing the best we can to raise awareness, and we have a very, very dedicated and loyal listener base. You have no idea. We've had people that have been with us some people have literally been with us as long as we've been on the air. Others have literally just slept a few hours and come back, and they've been with us almost the whole entire time, which is quite amazing. When you just think, just a month and a half ago, even myself, more or less, our listeners had no idea what this disease even was. So that in itself right there is just amazing within itself.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for raising awareness, and so many people have learned what the 22Q is over the last day and a half. So we thank you for that, and it'll continue until you guys are done.
Thank you so much, Carol. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.